Tired of not having a good work-life balance? Well, then this video is for you, because today I'm going to share my top 3 tips on how you can create habits that are really going to help you have fantastic work-life balance. Are you ready? Let's dive in. YouTubers, thank you for stopping by and investing this time in watching my video and investing the time in transforming your life. Now, in this video, we're going to be looking at how you can create healthy habits so that you can have work-life balance, because we all want work-life balance, right? We all have this idea of how our ideal life would be if we could simply balance things out. But the problem is, if that you don't have fantastic habits, or you haven't actually worked on your habits to create a foundation of a real work-life balance, it's never going to happen. So I'm going to give you today my top 3 tips on how you can create habits that are actually going to give you that work-life balance. And I've got a little bit more for you as well. Are you ready? My name's Emma Jane. I'm your life coach on the couch, coming to you from Reroute Your Life. And if you would like more videos inspiring you to transform your life and empowering you to enjoy your life's journey, then subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and we'll bring you lots and lots of inspiration every week. Are you ready to change your life? Let's dive in. As humans, we love our habits. Our habits are our definition of our norm. They define our normal everyday life. And have you ever noticed that when you're trying to break a habit and to start a new habit, that you fall back into your old routines? Well, that's simply because your habits are your comfort zone. So your habits are this norm, this everyday experience that you know to be true. And when you try and come out of that comfort zone, very often your rabbit brain will go, oh, there's headlights, that's a bit scary, I don't like this, I'm going to come back into what I know. And that's the reason why a lot of things we try to do to break our habits don't really work. But the good thing is that as humans, habits are actually our friend. So if you are looking at trying to create this better work-life balance, looking at your habits, looking at how you can form new habits is basically the recipe, the key to your success of balancing out your life. I want to make it really clear what I'm talking about with healthy habits. I'm not talking about the kind of habit change where you run 5 kilometers every morning, or you do lots and lots of yoga poses in your lunch break, or you're completely changing your diet. These are obviously ways that you can improve your health, and that can contribute to good work-life balance. But that's not the kind of habits I'm talking about in this video. In this video, I'm talking about the habits that create our lifestyle. So for example, you may have a habit of working until 6 o'clock in the evening, going home, eating your dinner, and then working the whole night through. This is obviously an unhealthy habit that's not going to help you create work-life balance. So a new habit could be, a healthy habit could be stopping work at 5 o'clock and not working until the next day, and doing something else with your time that feeds the work-life balance. So I'm talking about creating healthy habits that are going to help you sustain your work-life balance. So my first top tip about changing and creating healthy habits that are going to help you have a good work-life balance, and that is to keep it realistic. Now, we often, when we think about changing our lives and we look for inspiration online to see how to do that, we'll get 1,000,001 ideas. Our rabbit brain, our thing that keeps us in the comfort zone, doesn't like lots of changes. So when you're making a new habit, you want to do one habit at a time and keep it simple. It's much easier to focus on creating one new habit, and once that becomes part of your norm, then you can start on the next. Your rabbit brain will have a much better time of it. It's not going to work against you. And the other thing to remember is that it takes 21 days to create a habit, and you have like this dip in a habit. So like the first 5 days of a new habit goes really well, and then you might fall off, but you need to pull yourself back on, because it is going to take 21 days for that habit to become part of your normal routine. So keep it realistic, keep it simple, and remember, it's going to take you 21 days, but you will get there. Just keep on going. Tip number 2, if you really want to change your habits, then you need to understand how habits actually work. And what I mean by this is that there's 3 parts to any habit, a good habit or a bad habit. So the first part is the reminder, the trigger that actually initiates the behavior that you're going to do. The next part is the routine, so that is the behavior you actually do. And the third part is the reward. So that's the thing you get from a habit, because remember, any habit we have, good or bad, gives us a reward. It gives us something we really want. So if you're looking at changing your habits, you need to have a look at what is the trigger, what is the reminder that you need to have a habit, what is the routine that you go through, and be aware of what the benefit is about. So if we just take a really basic example, so imagine, for example, that your reminder for being hungry, let me start again. I'll make this clearer, I promise. So imagine that you have a habit of having junk food after work every day on your way home. So in that sense, the reminder, the trigger would be the fact that you're feeling hungry and it's the end of the day. So therefore you must need to eat. The action, the routine is going to whatever junk food store it is you go to, buying your junk food and eating it on the way home. And the benefit, of course, is that you feel good. And you know, when we eat junk food, we get a dopamine hit because it's all the bad stuff that our brain loves straight away, and then we get the crash later on. And I'm speaking from experience here because this used to be one of my bad habits. So if you want to change that habit, if you want to replace that bad habit of eating the junk food after work with something good, you could have a look starting with the reminder, the trigger. So it's after work, I am now hungry. It's the same reminder. It's the routine you need to change. So then you need to have a look and research the options that are going to give you that same boost of energy. So for example, instead of going to a junk food store, what about going and grabbing a smoothie? Is that something that's going to make you feel the same buzz but in a better way? And the reward, obviously, is not only that you feel less hungry and that you're feeling happier, you also get that feel-good feeling because you've created a good habit. So when you're trying to form new habits for work-life balance, look at these 3 R's, the reminder, the routine, and the reward. Have a look at what's going on with your old habit. What is the trigger? Because the trigger can always be the same for the good habit. Create the new routine and remember to focus on the new reward. So tip number 3 is make the change you actually want, not the change you think you should have. And this is really important. We all have these should have things we think we should be doing. And I get this a lot when I'm working with clients, when I talk to them about how do they want to transform their life. Instead of saying, I want to blah, 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 they say, oh, I should probably do this and I should probably do that. Well, trust me, if it's a should, you're not going to make that change because it's not something you really want. So there is a really great NLP process called Reluctance to Change that can help you with identifying how to make the changes that you really want, the changes that are going to be relevant for you. So I'll put this info down below so that you can work through the process in a minute when the video is over, but just let me quickly explain it. Now, the whole premise, the whole thing that this is based on is that every habit, like I said before, gives you a benefit. We get something out of it. We're not that nice people. We ain't gonna do something if we don't get something out of it. So you need to start looking at your bad habits or the habits that you want to change and figure out what it is you actually get out of them. So do that on a piece of paper. So write down the habit that you want to change and then write down the benefits, what it is that it gives you on that piece of paper. Now, once you've done that, you then need to have a look at these benefits because these are things you want, right? This is why you do this bad habit. So start to have a look and just identify what are the main things here that you really want to keep. What benefits do you really want to have in your life? And once you've looked at it once, have a second look, go a little bit deeper and really have a look and say, okay, that is the benefit, or these 2 things are the benefits that I want to have in my life. So then what you do is really simple. You can use Google for this. You're going to improve your Google food with this because you need to start looking for habits that can give you that same benefit, but are a healthy habit. So for example, if your bad habit is staying too late at work, or your bad habit is working all through the night, and that makes you feel productive, and that's the benefit you get from it. So you need to look at other ways, healthier habits that can help you be just as productive. For example, time management, and you can get some help with that online, or you can, I've got loads of videos on that coming up, so there's stuff coming out there to help you. But basically what you're doing, breaking it down again, look at the bad habit, what's the benefit you get out of it? What are these benefits do you really, really, really want to keep? And how can you create that benefit with a healthy habit? The last part of this process is probably the most important. You might have had a billion and one ideas of how you could really create that benefit with a healthy habit, but you're not gonna do all of them. So once you brainstorm your ideas, choose the one that you are realistically going to do, the one that is really gonna help you create a new habit, and that's the one you choose. So don't go after the shoulds. Change the habits that you really want, that give you the benefits that you want in your life. So those are my 3 top tips for creating healthy habits in your life, and I hope that they will help you, give you a foundation to start looking at the habits that you can change in order that you can start to have real work-life balance. And I said at the beginning of the video, I have a little bit extra for you. Well, I do, but it's not on this video. If you come over to my Facebook page this week, if you come to the Reroute Your Life Facebook page, this whole week is dedicated to creating healthy habits for you to have a better work-life balance. So come along, like the page, join the page, and there's loads of stuff. I'm putting loads of stuff up there, not just stuff that I've created, but some of the fantastic stuff I found online, all in one place to help you get that goal of having real work-life balance. So come and join the party. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and make sure you like this video, and please share it around. I'd love to spread the inspiration further, because we all have the power to transform our lives, and that's what my job is here. I want to help you transform your life. I want to help you enjoy your life's journey, because that's what it's all about. I'll see you next Wednesday. Take care. Be well.